What's up, guys? Got a battle here against this guy w.king from PokeCommunity. Yeah, I posted a thread there a while back at looking for challenges for my YouTube channel, and this is just one of the guys who challenged me and accepted my battles, so that's pretty cool. Now right here at the beginning you're going to see me touring around with my camera and trying to get it lined up better, but basically he leads off with this really cool lead Glisker, and he goes ahead and uses Stealth Rock at the same time I use Stealth Rock. I was actually expecting a taunt there, considering the fact that Gliskers can taunt, but it worked out for my favor because I got SR up and that could be helpful later on. And then Meteor Mash simply to test the damage, and I figure this guy I really don't need Glisker out there fighting me for later on, because most Gliskers are really defensively bulky and I can't have it sweeping my team, so I'll just explode on it, knowing that after the Meteor Mash kit I will KO it, so that's pretty good for me. And that just takes down the Glisker, which is always a good thing whenever you have a more physically based team than you do a specially based team. And I really played bad here. I went to a Salamence expecting maybe some type of physical sweeper, but he goes over to his Starmie, which was actually really good on him because he got 40 rocks up. And here I figure if he rapid spins, I block the rapid spin, but if he uses Ice Beam, I know I'll live. So of course I live the Ice Beam, and I'm scarfed and I get the Shadow Ball. And see, what I knew was that he would think that I was going to block the rapid spin, so I would think that he was faster. And it was basically a long chain of prediction on my part, which made me assume that he would stay in, and I got the Shadow Ball for the KO, which is also really good. But he goes over to Lucario, and I'm expecting SD-LO, standard Lucario, and he Swords Dances. And now he's at +1 thanks to the Intimidate from Warning, and that's pretty cool. And this is really defensively bulky Salamence, so I know I'll live this extreme speed, and I go for the Earthquake for the 100% KO on the Lucario, which is really cool for me because that Lucario could do dreadful amounts of damage to my team, well, except for maybe Scarfgar, but that's besides the point. And he goes over to his Gyarados, and I honestly should have predicted the Dragon Dance and try to get some residual damage, but I figured I might as well save this guy for Death Fodder because later on I might need it, and I do have a Gyarados counter. Thanks to all the times that I keep getting swept by Gyarados from Killer Nacho and everyone else I can think of, I finally decided to put in a real Gyarados counter in this team, a bulky water named Slick, who is my Vaporeon. And he predicts HP Electric very nicely and goes over to his Electivire. And the Electivire gets a Motor Drive boost, which can be very dangerous. And this is where the Death Fodder for Salamence came in handy, because I needed a free switch, and I didn't want to take a T-Punch, Ice Punch, or any type of punch from that thing, and he meditates, which is new to me. And the reason I didn't want to come into this guy without some Death Fodder is because I needed to get the free switch without dying, so that it exploded in his mouth. Because no one expects Gengar to be able to one-hit KO a Electivire with Shadow Ball or anything once they know they're scarfed. So the explosion catches him off guard and just takes him out, which is really nice. And I'm expecting maybe Gyarados, but I figured it doesn't matter. I'll go to Heracross simply because I want to test this Heracross. I want to know what it can do. It's a Heracross given to me by Conquer, and it's pretty bulky, so I figured I'd set up a sub and just see if I can live a Gyarados' Waterfall from +1 after one Dragon Dance. Let's see if I can live it after sub and a SR damage, simply because I know I can take Meteor Mash from Max Attack non-CB Metagross, which made me think maybe I can win this, but unfortunately I can't, so that just cost me a dude and brought it down to 2-2, which is pretty cool. But now I'll go over to Slick. I'm going to HP Electric, simply because it's the safest move. I mean, I haven't seen his last guy, so HP Electric was really the safest thing I could go with, and the Earthquake didn't do much to me. It did about half, which is decent damage, but it wouldn't have 2-hit KO'd after lefties, which is really good. And his last happens to be a Dusknoir. God, I can never think of his name. I keep wanting to call him Gengar. And for some reason his nickname made me think of Umbreon, but okay. And he goes to his Dusknoir, and he's a Confuse Ray, one of those confusion hacks dudes, so the confusion can actually rack up and do a lot of damage. And I go for the Toxic on the first turn, and I hurt myself with the Confusion, which sucks, which means the Nightshade's going to do a good bit of damage, and the damage can just keep racking up. And it's a good thing for me he didn't have Earthquake, because this Heatran was the only reason I beat this Dusknoir. Now, I think a Snap out of Confusion on that turn and hit with the Toxic, and that happens to be like the greatest aiding thing to this, because the Fire Blast does quite a lot of damage, more damage than I would have expected. I guess he's not especially bulky or doesn't have much HP, and I think he could have lived the second Fire Blast with leftovers if he hadn't been Toxic, which means that I would have died from Nightshade and I wouldn't win the game to begin with. So it was a good game, w.king. 2-0, pretty good. I mean, it was a nice battle. We'll have to rematch sometime. Anyway, guys, rate, comment, subscribe. Peace.